Texas Attorney General and right-wing extremist Ken Paxton fled his home like a coward yesterday to avoid a subpoena. He was being served a subpoena because Paxton's testimony are part of a lawsuit filed in August by reproductive health groups looking to protect their ability to help patients access legal abortions in states outside of Texas, where performing nearly all abortions became illegal following the Supreme Court's overturning of Roe versus Wade. Things get really funny, right? Ken Paxton is the Attorney General, and he's running from a subpoena, and it's almost cartoon style the way he ran away. It's like Wile E. Coyote and Roadrunner, Tom and Jerry. So let's share this story because it's a good one. When process server Ernesto Martin Herrera arrived at Paxton's home in McKinney on Monday morning, he told a woman who identified herself as Angela that he was trying to deliver legal documents to the Attorney General. She told him that Paxton was on the phone and unable to come to the door. Herrera said he would wait. Nearly an hour later, a black Chevy Tahoe pulled into the driveway, and 20 minutes after that, Ken Paxton exited the house. As soon as Paxton saw me and heard me call his name out, he turned and ran back inside the house through the same door in the garage, Herrera stated in the affidavit, emphasizing the word ran with bold type and underline. So just visualize Ken Paxton running back into the house. So Angela Paxton then exited the house, got inside his Chevrolet truck in the driveway, started it, and opened the doors. A few minutes later, I saw Mr. Paxton ran from the door inside the garage towards the rear door behind the driver's side. I approached the truck and loudly called him by his name, stated that I had court documents for him. Mr. Paxton ignored me and kept heading for the truck. Herrera eventually placed the subpoena on the ground near the truck and told him he was serving him with a subpoena. Both cars drove away, leaving the documents on the ground. This is insane. That is the Attorney General driving away, leaving the subpoenas on the ground. It's really insane that he did this.
Yeah, well, here we go, back to Republican voters. The guy has been under indictment for securities fraud for 7 years. First of all, the elites can get away with anything in America. So he's like, I'm Attorney General, so I now control the laws. I will not be held accountable for potential securities fraud violations. Why are you? What's taking 7 years to put the guy in prison already? But then there you go, or try him. Maybe he didn't do it. He's a Republican. The chance that he did it is 99%. Anyway, but the more important part is Republican voters are like, oh, he's potentially a white collar criminal. Great. Because if we make him the head of our laws, the Attorney General of Texas, maybe he could use those same laws that he was breaking to make more money for himself and his rich friends and rob us blind. Yay! Why? There's a lot of Republicans in Texas. Why don't you pick another one? Because they actively like criminals. They're like, oh, Trump stole nuclear secrets and then left him lying around in Mar-a-Lago and did God knows what else with it. Yes, his approval rating went up like 20 points when the right wing found out that he'd stolen top secret documents. They're like, oh, he robbed from his own charity, did a fake university, went bankrupt 6 times and bragged about how he never ever pays his bills. Yes! And I'm guessing for the right wing mind, which is a scary place to be, they view that as, oh, that's an alpha male that just takes whatever he wants. And I like when our side takes whatever we want and we don't follow the goddamn law. The law is to oppress the others. It's not really meant to apply to us. So why don't we pick criminals to be the head of the laws so that way we could break them all the time and just use it like we originally intended to oppress everyone else.
Yeah. Someone who's a public official committing securities fraud in the United States, that's just a Tuesday. That's just another Tuesday. It's insane though that Republicans have this view, right? If it's a petty crime, right? Like theft, robbing something from a store, maybe you're stealing baby formula because your baby has none. That's despicable, you're a criminal, you've gotta go to jail. But if it's a white collar crime and the crime is theft and it's hundreds of thousands of dollars, that's a smart guy instead. Absolutely insane. Paxton is offering his own excuses for his behavior. He posted this on Twitter. It's clear that the media wants to drum up another controversy involving my work as Attorney General, so they're attacking me for having the audacity to avoid a stranger lingering outside my home and showing concern about the safety and well-being of my family. We have a quote obtained by the Texas Tribune from Ken Paxton directly. So in light of the constant threats against me, for which dangerous individuals are currently incarcerated, I take a number of common sense precautions for me and my family's safety when I'm at home. Texans do the same to protect themselves from threats, and many also exercise their Second Amendment rights to protect themselves and their families. That kind of feels like a veiled threat, like if you come back with a subpoena, I'm gonna use my gun. Absolutely insane. After this incident, Paxton filed 2 requests. One, a motion to quash the subpoena, and another to seal the certificates of service, which included the affidavit from the process server. In the 7-page motion to seal, Paxton's lawyers argued that their client was never told the name of the process server or given identifying information about him. They argued it was at best reckless and irresponsible to publicly release the Attorney General's home address. A U.S. district judge granted both requests this morning, just a favor to the Attorney General. Anyways, Paxton has other court troubles to worry about, as Cenk mentioned. He's been under an indictment for securities fraud for 7 years and faces a whistleblower lawsuit from a former top deputy who accused him of abuse of office.
So guys, if you're getting sued or you're a criminal like the Attorney General of Texas, when somebody comes to serve you, it's not that big a deal. You're gonna have to go to court at some point anyway. Take the service. Don't threaten to murder him. I mean, he says Second Amendment rights not to go hunting, but to protect yourself, he said. So that's not implying a threat, that's just saying it. If you come back here, I might murder you. That's the Attorney General of Texas saying, if you try to serve me in a perfectly legal way, even though I'm the Attorney General, head of the laws in essence in Texas, I might murder you. And no one is even like, oh, well, that seems crazy, right? Like it's not noted in mainstream media that he's said to the guy, hey, I could use my Second Amendment rights to protect myself. This is the new normal in America. Oh, a Republican Attorney General, I can't get over it. He's the Attorney General saying, oh yeah, you're trying to apply the law to me? F the law. Who would be in charge of applying the laws? You would be in charge. Oh, no way, man. Oh, there's somebody out to serve me? That's such an act of a criminal. To be like, oh, there's a service? Oh, I don't want that. Okay, well, remember what we practiced, everybody, okay? You pull up the Suburban or whatever thing, SUV you got, okay? And then I sneak in there, and then, oh, we leave it on the ground. And then later we say, oh, yeah, I don't know who that guy was. I was worried about my safety. Okay, and I was worried about my safety. Next time I might murder him. And Republican voters look at that and go, attaboy.
Yep. These people were very dangerous. They came to his home armed with a subpoena, very scary stuff. They had to drive away, leave the paperwork on the ground. Here's the thing, if you've got a background in law and someone is suing you and they don't have grounds for the case, you can actually sue them for a frivolous lawsuit. So if he had nothing to hide, he wouldn't be afraid of a subpoena. I mean, you have a legal background, right? If there was no merit to this lawsuit, he could sue.
Yeah, people get sued all the time. It's not that big a deal, especially if you're the Attorney General. Like, people are gonna file suits against the state, they might do it against you, etc. But being a lifelong criminal, he knows how to work a getaway car. And so that's literally what happened. His wife, who's a state senator, what difference? They're all criminals. What difference does it make? So she's the one that literally does the getaway car, brings the SUV, he sneaks in, runs away. And Republican voters are like, no, running away is normal. No, from a legal subpoena, if you're the guy in charge of upholding the laws, obviously you run away and threaten to kill the guy next day. But they genuinely believe it. Amazing. They do. I guarantee you that if it gets out that he threatened to kill the guy, his popularity will go up in Texas.
Absolutely. That's so Texas.
I'm gonna read you one comment from Super Chat because it's such a good one, and I feel bad that I didn't make this comment. Michael Norris wrote in, I ran away to protect my family while leaving my kids alone in the house. Such a protective father, as protective as he is scrupulous, referring to Ken Paxton. Such a great point. If you were doing it to protect yourself, why'd you leave your kids behind if you were worried about the guy there? God, I love how smart our audience is. Excellent point, Michael. Thank you for using Super Chat to do it. Thanks for watching The Young Turks. I really appreciate it. Another way to show support is through YouTube memberships. You'll get to interact with us more. There's live chat emojis, badges. You've got emojis of me, Anna, John, JR. So those are super fun. But you also get playback of our exclusive member-only shows and specials right after they air. So all of that, all you gotta do is click that join button right underneath the video. Thank you.